felt like you're in a meeting about your business and suddenly everyone starts speaking a language you don't understand? You are not alone. The world of tech is just full of jargon. So in this explainer, we're going to cut through all that noise. We're going to give you the essential technology knowledge you need to make confident, smart decisions for your business. Let's dive in.
It's a really frustrating place to be, isn't it? You know you need to make a decision about technology, but every single option seems to come with a new set of acronyms and buzzwords. But here's the good news. You don't need to be a tech genius to make the right choices. Today, we're going to give you the clear, simple explanations you need to finally move forward with confidence.
So, where do we even start? Well, we start with the absolute basics, your digital foundation. Just like a physical store needs an address and a building to exist, your online business needs the exact same thing. In the tech world, we just call those your domain and your hosting.
Let's kick things off with the domain. It's actually really simple. It's your address on the internet. Think of it just like your shop's street address. It's that unique name that tells people exactly where to find you online. And because of that, it's a huge part of your brand, so choosing the right one is a pretty big deal. Okay, so if the domain is your address, then the hosting is the actual building itself. It's the space you're renting on the internet to store everything that makes up your website. You know, all the text, the images, the code. Without hosting, your address would just be pointing to an empty lot. So here's the key thing to remember. You need both a domain and hosting. One without the other is completely useless. Your domain is the signpost that points people to you, and your hosting is the actual destination. It's as simple as that. Okay, so you've got your address and your plot of land online. Now we get to the exciting part. What are you actually going to build on it? Are you going to build a simple brochure-style website? Or maybe something more interactive? Or do you need a completely custom system? Let's explore your options. This table right here is a fantastic way to figure this out. You know, if you're a consultant and you just need to show off your services, a simple website is probably your best bet. But if you're a salon that needs to take bookings online, you've just stepped into the world of a web application. And for a growing e-commerce business trying to manage a complicated inventory, well, a custom system might be the only way to go. You see how the right choice depends completely on what you need your tech to do for you? All right, now that we kind of know what we might build, let's take a quick peek under the hood to understand how it all actually works. And don't worry, I promise this is way simpler than it sounds. Every piece of software, no matter how complicated, has two sides, the front end and the back end. The front end is literally everything your customers can see and touch. It's the design, the colors, the buttons, the pages. If your website were a car, the front end would be the slick paint job, the comfortable seats, and the shiny dashboard. It's all about creating a fantastic user experience. The back end, on the other hand, is the engine. It's all the complex machinery working under the hood that your customers never ever see. But it's what makes everything on the front end actually run. It's where all the real power is. So a simple way to think about it is this. The front end is the cool design of the sports car, but the back end is the powerful engine that actually gives it its speed. You can't have one without the other. They are two sides of the very same coin, and they have to work together. Now, let's talk about data, which is really the lifeblood of any business. So many businesses, and let's be honest, maybe yours too, start out by tracking customers and orders in Excel sheets, maybe some paper files, or even in chat messages. Look, that might work for a little while, but as you grow, it quickly becomes total chaos and is incredibly prone to some really costly errors. The solution to all that chaos is a database. Instead of having information scattered everywhere, a database is like a highly organized, super efficient digital filing cabinet for your entire business. It becomes the single source of truth that powers everything from your sales reports all the way to your automated emails. And speaking of automation, let's move on to the technologies that are really supercharging modern businesses right now, the cloud and automation. And I know these can sound like buzzwords, but trust me, they are incredibly practical tools for efficiency and growth. So what even is the cloud? All it means is that your software and your data aren't stuck on that one physical computer sitting in your office anymore. Instead, they're hosted securely online across a whole network of powerful servers. And this is a huge deal, especially for small businesses. It means you can work from anywhere you want. It means your data is actually more secure and is backed up automatically. And best of all, you can scale up your business without having to buy a bunch of expensive new hardware. The cloud gives you the power of a big company's IT department, but for a fraction of the cost. Now, let's talk about a concept that can literally give you back hours in your day:
Automation. Just think for a second about the most boring, repetitive task in your business. What if a piece of software could just do it for you, perfectly, every single time? Well, that's the magic of automation. And you can automate so much more than you probably think. We're talking about things like sending out invoices, automatically notifying customers when their order has shipped, getting rid of all that tedious data entry, or even generating your weekly sales reports. Every single task you automate is time and money that you get back in your business.
So you've built your digital foundation and you have this amazing new system. That's fantastic, but you're not done yet. The final, and you could argue the most important step, is protecting that investment with good security and ongoing maintenance.
Now, security doesn't have to be some overwhelmingly complex thing. It really just starts with a basic checklist. Use a reputable, secure host. Always keep your software updated. Make sure your team is using strong passwords. And please, make sure you have regular data backups. Ignoring these basic things is a risk that no business can afford to take. And this is so important to remember. Software is never done. Just like a car, it needs regular maintenance to keep running smoothly and securely. This means doing consistent updates, fixing bugs as they pop up, and applying security patches to keep everything stable and reliable for the long haul. And that really brings us to the most important takeaway of all. You don't need to become a coding expert. That's not the point. But just having a grasp on these basic concepts empowers you to ask the right questions, to communicate more effectively, and ultimately to choose better, more cost-effective solutions for your business.
So I want you to take a moment and think about your own business. Right now, is your technology an asset that's helping you grow, or is it an obstacle that's holding you back? With the concepts we've covered today, you are now in a much better position to make sure it's a powerful asset that drives your growth.